Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another Roblox Studio Basics. In this series, we're doing tow trucks, it seems. So here we have, I'm just going to do a recap here. In the last video, we built this bed and an arm and this other part here. And essentially we built the bed system for what's going to become our new tow truck. And I'm going to try and add a few accessories to this after we get everything worked out. See, it goes out. This is what we did in our last video. If you didn't watch it, I highly suggest you do. It'll show you how to program these buttons here, and it'll show you how to prevent the bed from being too wild. Alright. So in today's video, we are going to add the tow functions to the tow bed. Alright, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is insert a cylinder. And basically all I'm doing is I'm just making like a pretend, I don't know, weld system, I guess, right? Like a winch, you know, when you got your tow truck there, and maybe, like I said, I'm not really a tow truck person, so we're assuming here. We can change it from plastic if we want to. Let's see here. We have fabric. Oh yeah, there we go. See, it looks kind of like wool. That's nice. All right, move. Then we'll duplicate this, and we are going to scale it. All right, let's change this to, I don't know, gray, and let's make it. We could just make it metal. Where are we? Metal. M for metal. Oh yeah, look at that. Looks nice, huh? See, and I don't like that it's kind of when it clips. I hate it when it clips. Ah yeah, there we go. Got a lot of that in the games that we made. Some clipping and this kind of stuff. Okay, so we have that there. Oh, that looks pretty cool, eh? So then what we can do is we can take a block. Let's see here. We will scale it. And this is just kind of going to be like a plate, I suppose. Right, like if we lifted this up to maybe there. And we did that. There we go. Duplicate that. All right. There. Now we sort of have like a weld. Might be a little off center. Don't hold it against me. All right. If it's not, yeah. If you're kind of real picky like that, I'll leave that up to you. If you're real picky, yeah, you make sure it's centered. All right, that looks pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is just gonna weld. Let's take this, and we're gonna go Control G. Okay, so now it's its own group. We're gonna rename this to Winch. All right, and then we're gonna take this model and we're gonna drag it into the miscellaneous folder in our tow bed, which is our truck. All right, so now we have that. We'll close these subfolders. Winch. And now what we need to do is we need to weld it all. We're just going to weld the winch right to the bed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be individually because it's never gonna move from its position, right? It's gonna move. We want the weld to move with the bed plate. And you know what? Let's change this to do that, and we can even make it like, diamond plate. I don't think they are, but and then you can add other parts to it. You can add, you want to add some decals, let's say, to the tow bed. We will go over that. I tell you what, I was going to turn this into a really long video, but we will go over that eventually. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to click on that, and we want to rename that to Winch. All right, decided to save. That way we know that is going to be our winch. Now we could drag that out of the winch folder into where everything else is, just to make it easier. Sometimes it's easier to do that. Have an object in the truck which has everything in it, because it doesn't matter. Once you have the constraints set up, they're not going to move. If you move this hinge into another folder somewhere in the truck, let's say you move it into the folder that has the tires, it's not going to change the location or how it functions. It's just going to change where you have to find it with the code. That's all. All right. So we can take this winch and we will drag it and we can put it inside the bed there if we want to. I'll just press play just so you can see. Hopefully it doesn't snarl too much. No, see? And then it's welded on there. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like that. All right. Okay, we'll stop. The other thing I like to do is I like to make sure that all these parts are massless and not collidable. Massless, these little parts is good when you have a big part like this plate, for example. We don't want it to be massless. And that is because we want the constraint. Massless, can't collide yet. That one we can make that one collidable, doesn't matter. But if you make them massless and you attach it to a constraint, it could also do wild and funny things, right? Because it has no mass. And now you're trying to move it with a motor and it just takes off. So those are other things that you'll want to think about or try and calibrate the overall mass and all that kind of stuff, right? And now by putting it in this miscellaneous folder here, what we're doing is we're keeping it with the vehicle. Okay, so now we have our winch. Now we need to turn it into a real winch, like the tow truck we just created. So to do that, first thing we want to do is find, there it is, the frame. Okay, we want to drag this frame down into here. And we're going to redesign this a little bit. Because we need to add an additional, let's count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 or 7 additional buttons, whatever we want to add. Right, whatever we want to add. Try and not make this that. What is this one? 104 by 50. 104 by 50. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try my best not to make this super duper ugly. If it is, oh well. All right. I'm not publishing this. This is just this little private server here. Okay. So a couple of things before we get started. Now, I didn't have this code. We have to take this code from the crane truck. Okay. So the first bit of code that we need, go into miscellaneous, and is in the controller. Now I'm just going to leave it here for a moment. You're watching on YouTube. Pause it and copy the code. This from the mouse down. All right, this is from here down. This is what we need. And this is, if you were with us with the last one, the attach mode, this is the winch itself, right? This is what's going to allow you to click on the mouse. Boom, now you have it's connected. Then we press X, it's disconnected, okay? So I'm going to copy this code because I have it, but if you're watching, you'll need to write this out. Okay, and where does it go? It goes here in the local script, in the controller script for the UI. All right, same with that we have here. And I mean, here, we'll just do this. All right, just so that way we can section it off, and you could do that too when you're writing code. It's right, you can section it off, you know, which is often what I see just like that, right? And then we can say, okay, so now that's the end of that. And below that, we have our weld functions. So we can do two things. We can use the same remote event, trade their functions, or we can create a separate remote event, which specifically deals with the winching. Honestly, for me, it doesn't matter. I see sometimes they have two separate remote events, one for the bed and one for the winch. To me, it's so long as you don't mind writing out all these commands and you make sure that none of the functions, the variables overlap, it doesn't matter. You only need the one remote event, I'm pretty sure, because you're not processing multiple functions at one time. It's one function, then one function, then one function, right? So it should be okay processing that one, then one, then one. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what our what buttons we need. What buttons do we need? Okay, so now we're in a different. Let's get out here. And it's late. I'm drinking coffee just to kind of. My brain's a little foggy. Okay, so toe out. We're going to duplicate this, and this is going to become our. I'm going to rename this. So first button is going to be attach, and we're going to name that. All right, attach. Of course, the second button is going to be detach. So we'll duplicate, rename that, detach. And that's that one, and then we want to go DTACH. Okay, and we can always change the color of that to red. I mean, it can be whatever. Right now, I'm using just buttons. As you'll know in Winter Assault, not in Blue Trucking City. Eventually, we'll get back to that mess. It's a big mess. I was checking it out the other day, and I'm so lost. I wrote so much code. We wrote so much code in like late nights. And, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and you don't really. It's just a mess. There's objects everywhere. Anyhow, it was not planned, right? When it's your first project, you just do whatever. Okay, so now we're just doing our buttons, right? So we have attach. What else we need? We need a button that says release. Yeah, so you can change these to images if you wanted to, image buttons, and then you can have an image, which maybe we'll go over. I might. All right, release. And then we want the winch. All right. So then if we duplicate this, and we are going to rename that to winch in, and we're going to say winch in, and then we're going to duplicate that button, and we're going to say winch out. Now, when I did the last, the other tow truck that we made, I didn't do this part. I didn't do the winch out part. I just made it so it winches in. So sorry for that. But hopefully you watched that video and you enjoyed it. 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever it is, and now you're watching this one because you enjoy it also and you want to make a nice tow truck. Okay, and this is going to do the same thing. This will allow us to winch in, and this will allow us to make it longer, right? Same with the weld. Attach is going to weld the car to the base. Release, detach is going to destroy the weld so we can remove the car, right? And release. I think maybe release will be this will probably be for the winch. Let me see here. Yeah, detach is for the rope constraint, and release is for the car weld. So the other button we are going to need, and we're going to rename this to weld. Just like that. All right, and then this one's going to have to be green. Green. No, actually, you know what? The weld function actually comes from attach. So if that's the case, oh yeah, see what I did there? I deselected the frame. So detach should be here. So attach, release. This is for the winch. So we've got winch in, winch out, and detach. All right, and now what we can do is, I have this text label. We can duplicate the text label, and we can move it down here, and we can say, we can just label it winch, right? And then we can, looks like it's just a little, we can duplicate that again, and we can move it here, and this would be our, well, this would be our winch, and this one here would be our weld. Just to, you know, another way of organizing. There. Oh, yeah, looks pretty good. And of course, you can go over it, right? You can say, oh, I like that, you know, background transparency, and then we have a border here. Background color, layout, text label. Or is that in the corner? Yeah, so you can change the corner radius here. That's pretty cool. But on the actual text label itself, background color we can change. Background transparency, border color, border size. Oh, the border size is overridden by that. Okay. All right. Well. There you go. Okay. That's it. That's our big thing. We can do this. What happened there? It's just like the attachments. Once you set them, and then you start moving when you change the size of the overall frame. Okay, like I say, we'll go over this, how this works and all that. Like if you want to make a UI for somebody when they join the game, it has a health bar, all that kind of stuff. This is how you would do it. You just create a frame, which is the entire size of the window, scale it, and then within that frame, you'd create buttons and images and labels and all that kind of neat stuff. Yeah, all right, so that's the frame. It's quite big. So click on the frame, drag it back in. Now we need to write some code. So we don't need that one anymore. Now, we're not gonna get there yet. Let's do the buttons first. One thing at a time. Okay. So one thing at a time. Same thing. GUI dot attach dot mouse button one down, right? Connect function. This one here we don't need. All right, we'll say trailer. Fire server. All right, and then what's the name of our variable is going to be attach. All right, same thing, identical to what we just did in the last videos. This part is identical. Creating the winch, it's the same. So if you're making a game, a tow truck game, a crane game, any kind of game, it's all the same. You can just copy paste, right? You can take the weld. Even once you got the code in there, you can put it wherever you want on the body. Yeah. Pretty much the same. All right, so we have attach. Okay, and how many buttons do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna copy this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one we'll say detach. Detach, right? And then fire server. Detach. The next one will be release. All right. Fire server. Release. Now I might be. Yeah, one of these doesn't get a function. I think that's the attach, but I'll check on it here. Okay, release. And then we have winch in and winch out. So winch in, variable, winch in. This one we're going to duplicate, okay, because we're going to have winch in stop. Same with winch out, and we're going to have winch in stop, and this is actually up. So you see we have two functions connected to the same button. That's the wonderful thing about UIs. We can say winch in. Oh, whoops. I just realized a mistake. Both of these are labeled the same. That's one benefit of, say, okay, rename this one here. Like I could use a proximity prompt. I like using this UI frame stuff is awesome. Otherwise, you'd have a prompt here, bed out, right? Click the prompt, the bed goes out. Click the prompt, this does that. Click the prompt. It's too many buttons. When you use the UIs, that's the thing. You can have multiple functions and yeah, way more control over the creativity. So winch out, connect function, and this is going to say winch out. All right, and then we need this. We're going to duplicate this, copy, right, and then mouse button 1 up. Mouse button 1 up, and then we're going to say winch out, stop. All right, those are the two variables that I didn't add to the last truck, and that's what I'm saying. This one's going to be complete. All right. We'll go over, I'll leave that there for a moment, just have a sip of coffee. Okay. Now we work on the UI controller script, but I want to do one thing. I'm going to look at my crane truck. Sometimes it's good to take a look at see winching in and winching out. This is what I did with the crane. So this is what we're going to need in the controller is the weld, but I just wanted to see attach here. Where are we looking at? Controller. Oh yeah, weld off. Winch in, winch and stop, winch out, stop, lock, unlock. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's the crane. Well, I'm just seeing attach. I don't actually think we need that as a button. I think the attach function, which is what we discovered with the last, is that the where's your beacon, trailer on, trailer off. Oh, that's interesting. Pad on, pad off, lock, unlock. Where's attach here? It's got to be in there. A weld on, a winch on is what I called it. Okay. And winch off. No. Oh, maybe not. All right. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I thought that one. Well, let's just do it. Let's just do it, and we will discover together. Nothing like, yeah, repeating the same mistakes twice. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to add the couple of variables. So we need to say local, and then weld part equals nil. All right, weld part. These are the somebody else wrote this, as I keep mentioning, and so I'm just using their wording. But you can change it weld part to whatever. But it's just easier. Okay, so we say local winching in equals false, and then we'll say local winching out equals false. Right? Because we're going to be able to go winch in, winch out. Now what we need to do is we need to create the code which will allow us to weld. Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember what. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. So function. Let's see, weld. We need a space between function and weld, and then we'll say x, y, and name. All right, we'll say local weld, and I got this wrong last time because I had lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase. Why, I don't know. Equals, and we'll say instance dot new, which is just a easy way of creating a weld out of nothing, and we'll say weld. All right, and we need weld. Weld dot part 0 equals x, and weld dot part 1 equals y. All right, and now we need local cj equals cframe dot new, and what do we need this x dot position. All right, and now we need to say weld dot c0 equals x dot cframe inverse. All right, and then we want to multiply that by cj. All right, and then basically same thing. Weld dot c1 is equal to, should be y dot cframe colon inverse, all right, times cj, just like that. Oh, and then this should be a capital C, actually. Right, spelling is a big one. Weld dot parent equals, we'll say script dot parent, and then here it says dot winch part. Now, and it'll say, well, what's, all right, if name, then, all right, and then we say if oh yeah, winch part would be in here. What did we actually name it here? We named it winch. So it's going to say, where are we? Script dot parent dot bed dot bed dot winch. Okay, and that's where it's going to create this weld, and the weld is going to be called car weld, right? Or whatever we choose to name it. Okay. But we just need a location of where the weld is, so that way we know how to find it when we write the code. So name, if name, then weld dot name equals name. Oh, that was pretty easy. Oh, do I need that there? end, just like that. That is the code. Hopefully. Now we're gonna scroll down. Let's before we scroll down, sorry, let's separate this. Just so that way we know, all right, this is the weld code. And then we have our bed code. And we'll do this here. Under here. All right, these are going to be our variables for our new buttons that we created here. Okay. So first things first, if variable is equal to attach. All right, then, is equal to attach, and part. Man, last time I was like, what is that? And that's because I didn't have this here, the attach mode. So it was giving me an error here. It was saying, I don't know what this part stuff is. And I was saying, well, okay. And then what we need to do is we need to go player, variable. We need to edit in here. Part. Let's see. Part and P. P just reference for player. Okay. Back down here. If variable equals attach and part is a base part, then let's see, script dot parent. Oh, that's right. So now what we need to do is we need to add a rope constraint to our winch. It's a little bit back and forth, this first variable here. I apologize for that. So inside winch, insert object. What did I say? We need a rope constraint. Oh, yeah. So you can just type that, right? Rope constraint. Simple, easy peasy. We don't have to physically add it because we don't have the properties for it. We're going to code the properties right now. So we'll say script dot parent, and we can even create a local for that up here if we wanted to. So that way we don't have to reference it. But we'll say script. This is the UI controller here. Script dot parent, which is miscellaneous. Okay. And we say dot bed. Dot bed. All right. Dot winch, which is here. Nope, not rotation. Dot rope constraint. Dot attachment. Attachment 0 equals script. No, not select. Script. Dot parent. Oh, we have to dot parent, dot bed, dot winch, dot attachment, dot attachment. All right, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna be creating because when you click on the vehicle here, it creates an attachment on the vehicle, and what this code does is it allows us to attach, make that connection. Okay, so now we say local A2, which is the attachment, equals instance dot new, and we will say attachment and part. Oh no, we don't want that to be in the right there. Attachment and part, just like that. So instance dot new. This is they're basically using the code to create an attachment. That's the same thing. If we didn't want to add this prismatic constraint, for example, or this hinge, I could put code in there, and I can say instance.new prismatic constraint, and then I just list everything that I want it to be through the code. Right? Two ways of doing it. You can physically add it, or you can add a part, and you can make that part the whatever. All right. Let's see. So now we need to say script dot parent dot bed dot winch. Let's
see. Dot rope constraint.
Dot row constraint. Dot attachment 1 is equals a2.
All right. Now we're going to say script.
Dot parent. Dot bed. Dot bed.
Dot winch.
Dot rope constraint. Dot length. So now we're setting up the rope constraint. Is equals.
All right.
Let's
Do this here.
So script.
Dot parent.
Dot bed. Dot bed. Dot winch. Dot position. Now I can say
Dot position.
minus part dot position.
Is that right? Yep.
Part dot
Position.
okay. Dot magnitude.
MAGNITUDE.
Yeah, and then we will say plus 0.4.
All right. And then weld part equals
part. All right, weld part equals part. There we go. Weld part, which was our local up here. It doesn't exist until we create it. And then we say weld part equals part. And that's basically what you would do with a motor, right? Instance.new. In this case, it's an attachment, but you could say motor, you could say whatever, and then reference where you want it.
all that good stuff. Another video, maybe I'll go through that in more detail. Okay, so
that is it. That is it. So this was their, I don't want you to think that I thought this part up. I did not. I suspect that it was a developer. One of the Roblox developers obviously made some of this code that's in the toolbox for us to use. So I'm assuming they're the ones that made this. It's quite complicated. And they're probably the ones that made a chassis, I suspect. It's quite complicated. So we just use what they have because it works.
And that's that. All right, on to the next one. Which, let's see. So I wonder if I want to do... if I want to do weld part in there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if variable is equal to detach, detach, then,
okay, then what are we going to do?
All right, so now we need to go scripts, dot parent, dot bed, dot winch, dot rope constraint, dot attachment 1 equals nil. Okay, and then we say script dot parent dot bed dot winch dot rope constraint dot length equals 0. So once we disconnect it,
the rope is gone. Okay.
And now we say else if variable is equal to weld, then
let's see,
if scripts dot parent dot bed
dot winch
find first child here. Find first child car weld,
which is the name of the weld.
We'll say then. So if it's in there, we say script dot parent dot bed dot winch dot car weld. Destroy. Just like that. We are going to destroy you just like that. Bye-bye, weld.
All right. Now, we'll say
If weld part, then. If weld part, then. Weld. Oh, let's see. Is it?
I wonder if is that what I want to do?
It's saying weld, and I'm wondering if that's the. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I want to do. If weld part, then. Let's see, I use a capital. No, it's telling me it wants to do it like that. So we'll try it like this first. If it doesn't work,
Whatever. We can rewrite it here.
weld part. Let's see, weld part. Let's see, script. No. Script. Dot parent. Dot bed. Dot winch.
Is that right? Winch.
Car weld. Yeah. There we go, car weld.
All right.
It's just this here. I suppose we could test that. Let's see. Maybe. It's not quite complete, so I don't know if it'll. I know last time we were having a few issues with that. But let's try it out. Let's see if I attach. Oh yeah, see, it's giving me that error again. Is a base part. Now, it's because I am forgetting something, but that's okay. I have the crane truck here. And in the crane truck, we have the code that we need. Yeah, because it wasn't. Winch on. Was that an actual button here? Let's see. Whoa, look at all these. Winch in. Oh yeah, winch on. Yeah, that is a. Look at all these, all these fancy buttons. All right. Yeah, part is a base part. We're missing something here. I'm just looking for it. There's a little bit of code that I need to get that I'm missing, and I don't know if it's here. We got this in the controller, right? Mouse, attach mode. Yeah, we got that. It's this here, attach mode equals false. Yeah, just bear with me for a moment while I try and retrace. It was doing this to us in the last video, and I had it figured out. I just needed yeah, I was missing. There was a snippet of code here that I'm missing. I just need to find it. That's all. Once I found it, I'll know what I'm looking for. It was in one of these. That's the controller. Oh, I don't have the attachment. You see, you notice that in there? See, there's the attachment, right? I don't have the attachment. Insert object. Maybe that's it. All right, I don't have the attachment. Let's try that. So there's a couple of things, right? Maybe there's a couple of things that we're missing, but this is why we want to test it before we get, as I was saying, before we get too far into it. Let's see, we go to attach. No, it's giving me the, so that was one thing that we were missing. Line 55. So we needed the attachment in there. What else do we need in here? Attachment and the rope constraint, which is what we got. Attachment, and we have a rope constraint. Now did that. Part is a base this attachment. Yeah, you notice how here it's capital. It's so funny, huh? Let's try that here. That's probably why it wouldn't let me. Now let me see if that's how we have it. Oh yeah, weld. All right, see, same thing. Car weld, all that. I'm just, like I say, I'm just going through it and just trying to see why. We had the exact same issue with the last one, and I've forgotten what I had to do to fix it here. I don't think it's in there. Let's see. Yeah, part should be mouse dot target. So that means when it comes to here, part is a base part. Variable attach. Hold on. Show and explore. Toe bed. Show and explore. Yeah, it's important to make sure that I'm working on the right. It should work. I don't know. All I'm thinking is maybe it's this the attach. Let me see here. That would be in this controller. Winch on. Yeah, that's what it is. Attach. It already fires. Winch on here. This should be attach. Is that right? Yeah, fire server winch on. And then we have winch off, which was the button I put in there. And then what did I say for winch off? See, winch on and then winch off is that. Okay, so that's where I got confused. All right, see, just gotta check it out. So we have attach and a detach. So I guess I don't need the attach button. I knew there was one. I knew there was one button that was kind of whatever I'm trying to say. I knew there was something. Attach. It's this button here, which we don't need. So then put it back in there, and then what I'll do is, because we already have this code, I'm pretty sure right here. So let's see if that's going to work. Oh, no, maybe I did need that button. Whoops. Hold on, let me see what I did here with the crane truck. We're on the right path. I just need to see what I did. Not the controller. I want to see what I did here with the button. So I have winch on is the button. So that's all I did. I just created a button called attach. And right here, trailer. If attach mode true, then local. Okay, mouse button 1 down to connect function. If attach mode is equal to true, then fire server attach. Okay, so I should need a button here named attach. Where's release? Let's see, we'll duplicate that. I think. I don't know. Let's try that. Alright, let's make that green. Alright. Then we'll take this frame, put this back in there, and we're press play. No, it says attach is not a valid member. Spelling. Had to rename the button to attach. 2 buttons that say release. Alright, so now we don't have an error there. So if I press attach, yeah, see something's going on here. What's going on here? Okay, so how did we do it? Is there there should be see, it's got a winch on button. And that's winch on, connects through here. Okay, but I didn't, all right. Winch on, mouse button 1 down, connect function, attach mode equals true. There we go. Now we know what we need to do. So we need to change this. And we need to say attach mode equals true. Alright, let's try that, eh? Oh, look at that, didn't give us error. All right, and I bet you if I say winch in, okay, so now let's stop, and what we're gonna do, something else kind of, we don't have an error there, so something else happened. All right, now we're connecting. Now what we need to do is we need to take a look at the winch itself, which is where bed, tow bed, winch, right? And I want to change the color to yellow. You can change it to whatever you want, and then just for the purpose, right? I made it huge because I just wanted to see thickness 1. I just want to see if it actually shows up on there. But we can change the color to whatever we want. So let's see, attach. No, see it didn't attach. Okay. So now why is it not attaching here? It says it GUI dot attach. If attach mode equals true, then local part equals mouse dot target. So the only thing I can think of is something else. It might attach mode equals true. I might have to change the name of the function from attach. Attach mode equals true and attach mode equals true and yeah, I might just need to change the name of the button. So let's just change it, attach. Let's just rename that to on. And let's rename this to on. I don't know if it'll, I'm hoping it'll have, maybe it's getting confused. Yeah, it's supposed to attach. All right, let's figure out what's going on. Why are you not attaching here? See that fire server winch on, right? Did it save here? Fire server. Attach part. Say attach mode false. Yeah, variable attach. All right, it might be another one of those. Just a minute. Once again, we run into the same problem. Oh, you know, I wonder if let's see here. Let's double check. Let's double check a couple of things here. Release winch in, winch out, on. Okay, no, that makes sense. Detach, on. Yeah, and variable attach, and partially the base bar. That winch winch.attachment. So the only thing I can think of now is that we just have to make sure that it's for whatever reason it's not setting up the what was that? All right, there, I made it visible. Now let's see. I thought I had made it visible already, but maybe it was a different. Hold on a second. Let's just make sure I'm working on the right truck here. Tow bed, yeah, yellow, visible. There we go. Didn't have that. Maybe it was connecting this whole time, but I couldn't see it. Let's see here. Perfect. Look at that. And of course, these buttons don't work. Oh, detach works because we don't have winch in and winch out selected. Look at that. Okay, attach. Perfect. Oh, that's fantastic. And I'll put a close button on here too. Fantastic. Okay, so we got that part working. And as you saw, it was coming from there. So then we can change the thickness to like 0.2. You know, and this is for you. Maybe you want to change the cable to a different color. I don't know, neon green. Right? So we take this, attach. Hey, there we go. See that? Very cool. Okay, let's finish. Let's finish. All right. That's why it's nice to. It took me a long time to decipher all this. Okay. What is next? Winch in. All right. Okay, and then I remember last time we needed to go else if variable is equal to. Otherwise, it didn't
Want to continue to connect to.
What, release? Then. Yeah. All right.
If variable is release, then what are we going to do?
We're going to say if script dot parent dot bed dot winch find first child car weld, find first child car weld. So it's the same thing as we had up here. Just copy this right here. Be lazy. Copy and paste right on. And then we say else if variable equals
winching.
What do we have? Winch in. Winch in. Then winching in. Winching in equals true.
Let's see. While
script dot parent dot bed
winch. Let's see.
Dot rope constraint dot length.
All right.
So while the length, what is that? 0.2 and winching in do script dot parent dot bed dot winch dot rope constraint dot length equals let's see, script script dot parent dot parent dot bed dot winch dot rope constraint dot length minus 0.2. All right, and then we're gonna wait 0.07.
This is what they had set up. So
I'm assuming it's probably the speed, something like as a weight.
weights between whatever.
Okay, and then we say else if variable is equal to now that was winch in. So what do we have? We have winch in and winch in stop. Winch in stop, then, and we just say winching in equals false. Simple as that. So winching in is true. It'll start to shrink until the length becomes there, and then when you release your button, it should stop. Let's test that out right now. Instead of explaining, let's see it in action, shall we? So let's attach. All right, now we're gonna go winch in. Oh, you gotta hold it down. See, you get to hold it down now. And when I release it stops. Ooh, I like that. That's smooth. And now we just need to reverse it for winching out. All right, we'll do that, and then we'll say else if variable equals to is it winching out? Is that what it is? No, winch out. Winch out. Then winching out equals true. And then we'll basically take this here, this while loop, and we copy the while loop and we paste it. But instead of going -0.2, we are going to, oh no, that's right. We want, I think we need to change this to that. I think. I know it's giving me
I wonder if I should have a winching stop.
yeah, winching in equals, well, what's going on here? It's already giving me. It's telling me it doesn't like the else if now. Why is that? What's wrong with that? Oh, an end to close at line 20. Is that right? Doesn't need that there, no. Line 20. If variable, oh, yeah, if variable is there, else if end. If variable, else if. I don't know why it's giving me troubles now. Get else if. Did you forget to close then at line 82? No. Else if variable equals winch in stop then winching in equals false. End. Does it want me to do that? No. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. There you go. All right, so let's check on that first. Let's check on that. winching out didn't seem to work. Keep that the same. I'm still thinking I need an end in there. I don't know why it. I don't know why. Yeah, because the winching out won't. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so long as the rope is greater than its minimum distance. I should allow it to expand at a rate of 0.2. That's this. It's this here that's maybe I just need if. Maybe we don't need that in there. Do I still need the end in there? Yeah, I still need that, right? To end this. Alright, let's try that. No, something's not working here. Yeah, that should still be else if. Maybe this has got to be like this. Yeah, no, see, that didn't do nothing. It's gotta be else. It's gotta be else if. But why isn't it letting me expected end to close function at line 20? Yeah. End. If variable detach, then. Oh, maybe I need an end here after detach. That could be it. If variable detach, then no, else if. I think of maybe I need to end in here. Oh no, see, then it says you can't do that. So what's the whole idea? Else if variable winch in stop. And winch in stop should be winch in. Yeah. But if I don't put the end in there, let's see if I put the end in there. Oh, winching in. This should be winching out. All right, that's that's that. Okay, so maybe if I do that, I can do that. Maybe that. Can connect these dots here. Connect the dots in the middle of the night. Okay, so winching in works. Winching out. Oh yeah, it works. Winching in. Holy, how long did that make it? Oh, you know why? It won't. I didn't tell it to stop. Right. If variable, right? Else if variable is equal to winch in stop, then we'll do the exact same thing that we just did. Winching in out. What's this? Winching out equals false. And really? Why is it giving me this such a All right, let's see if that works. No, it just continues to go. Winch in stop. This should be winch out stop. Winch out stop. Winch out stop. That's sometimes when you copy paste and you duplicate, you forget that you have to. Let's see, winching in. All right, winching out. Oh, it works. Oh, in, out. Cool, detach. Cool. All right. All right. All right. There we go. Let's test it. Let's test it. Let's test it. Let's test all the functions, shall we? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to go out. Right, we're pretending we're going to pick up this car. Oh, this is cool. We'll go out. All right, that should be good. And we'll go up. Up, 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 up. Whoop. Down, down. See, it's collidable. So it's, oh yeah, this is perfect. Then we go attach to there. And then we go winch in. Right, we may need to adjust it a little bit. Oh yeah, see the car, it's coming in. Look at that. All right. Then we attach. Then we'll say in. Oh yeah, look at that. In. Down. In. All right. There you have it. Our tow truck, our bed tow truck. And that car is welded onto the plate, so it doesn't have any effect on the truck. See, I'm going 38, 39. I can still drive well. Right? The wheels. Perfect. Okay, let's recap what we did in this video. In this video, we created the winch. We wrote some commands, some code, variables which allowed us to use the winch so we could lift up a car. Perfect. All right, in the next video, we're going to detail the tow truck. We're going to add lights and sounds, and we're just gonna go over it. I guess I don't need this anymore. Perfect. Wow, and I'm gonna save this to file. Perfect. Awesome. If you followed along, thank you so very much. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and be sure to have yourselves a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.